Hey everyone, it's Alex, and you're listening to the Everyday Stories podcast, a podcast about the everyday stories about the people that you know and you don't know, here to help you learn a thing or two about life and the stories that define us. Today we're talking to Zhané Stimpson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zane is a creator, community builder, and storyteller dedicated to sharing queer voices and experiences. Through comedy, digital content, and inclusive events, they cultivate spaces where people feel seen, supported, and empowered. Whether they're breaking down financial literacy, celebrating queer culture, or bringing people together through community driven initiatives, Zane's work is all about authenticity, education, and joy. Welcome to the podcast, Zane. Thanks for
Thank you so
joining.
much. Thank you. You have one of the best podcast intros I've ever heard, by the way.
Oh my God,
I'm not even blowing
sick.
smoke up your ass. That's really good.
Honestly, do it. Do it. I'll take anything at this point. But today we're going to talk about honestly what it means to be all those things that I had mentioned. First, a message from our sponsor, The Bush. They're not an actual
Oh my god.
sponsor,
My
but The
boy,
Bush is
inshallah.
where we want to shout out The Bush because that's how we met at a queer like singles night event. It was like honestly like one of the best nights I've had at The Bush. It was so
Absolutely.
fun. And I think you were part of that, making that night amazing.
Thank you
But
so much.
Zane, I wanted to talk to you about all the things that you're doing.
hmm
So I know that you work full time at Well Simple
hmm
as a senior associate of youth engagement, but you're
Yeah.
also a content creator, model, and actor. So my question for you is, how did you get into the full time job at Wealth Simple, and then also the content creation, the modeling, the acting, and where do those passions stem from?
Yeah, of course. My journey at Wilson Post started pre Wilson Post Foundation. I was working at a charity called Indigenous Friends, and I was helping to teach Indigenous youth how to code. So they really wanted to reclaim digital technology. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was working part time. I'd hop on, I'd TA, I'd help with like people's code, which was crazy because I had never coded myself. I was learning on the job, and I'm like, oh, you missed a bracket. Oh, you missed this, which was it was a really fun time. Um, but while I was working there, one of my best friends who works at Well Simple, she was like, hey, they're starting a foundation and it's all about education and financial literacy. I feel like there's some overlap. And this was 2020. No, yeah, 2020. It was 2020 when that happened. And we had a call with the CEO and it was like very early stages. Like she didn't even have like workers yet. So it kind of fell off. Like I didn't re engage with them as a partner just because I got so busy and I got transferred to be the social media manager at Indigenous Friends. Fast forward another job later, um, the company I was working for, not Indigenous Friends, but the one in between Well Simple Foundation and Indigenous Friends, I will not name them. The team was basically going down. Like the manager told me, like, this is a sinking ship, by the way. I want you to get out before things get bad. So she was giving me jobs to apply to, and one of them was Well Simple Foundation. And they were looking for a digital um like manager, like a digital marketing manager, and then a community engagement associate. And I applied for the community engagement associate because all of my background has been in like community work. But I didn't get that job. I didn't get the job because they made me an entirely different role. They made an entirely different
Oh,
role because me and this other girl, they were like, you two are very strong candidates. Like, we want the both of you. So we were wondering if you would be open to an entirely different role and position. And in my mind, I'm like, why would I say no to a job? Why would that ever happen? So I became the youth engagement associate. So I focused primarily on the youth stream. So that means the socials, the digital products, the workshops that go towards the youth. While my coworker, she did like community, as in like parents and teachers and women. So it's been fun, and that's how I kind of stumbled on Well Simple. But it's also a similar story for like my creative work. I started my TikTok to stay connected to my friends during the pandemic. And it literally was just me making videos around my new hobbies. So like very early on videos are me like practicing guitar. It's me dancing. It's me making silly little memes. And it's me and my friend just commenting like, haha, I miss you so much. And then one day when my videos kind of like just took off and I was like, oh, weird. People want to see more of like my everyday life. They want to know more about what it's like being queer and living at home and working full time. So I just kept making videos and my audience kept growing. And then I had a brand reach out to me asking if I wanted a PR package, which was my first one ever. And I said, absolutely. Like, I'm not going to say no.
What was the
But it turns
brand?
out the brand is Nix. Not Nix, Knix, the underwear and intimate brand, which I didn't know was big. I didn't realize how
Oh,
big Nix was. But they sent me a package during Pride of 2022, essentially saying like they wanted to thank people in the community that inspired them. So I was so excited. I made like a little get ready with me video with like the Knicks stuff I got, and they loved it so much that they reposted it on their page, and like
nice.
we became mutuals. And I'm like, holy shit, this brand with like 500,000 followers is following me, and I only have 2,000 followers. This is crazy. And then a month later, they told me they were launching a new product and that they wanted me to model it, and I was like, what? Yeah, first time ever modeling. First time ever modeling. It was my first time ever on a set. They had lunch. They had people there like catering to us. I had a stylist. I was like, this is nuts. So that's the first time I ever modeled because of Nyx, and it just happened because they liked the videos I was doing. Even though I wasn't a big creator at that
Yeah.
time. At 2,000 followers on Instagram, I think I had maybe 20,000 followers on TikTok. But then
Wow.
because of that, I was like, oh, cool, this is fun. And other people were like, you should sign up for a roster. And so I signed up with a talent agency, which landed me like my first commercial acting role. And then I kept making videos because I'm like, okay, well, people are obviously liking this. And there's so many cool opportunities to work with like brands and new people and all these agencies. So yeah, that's kind of how I landed where I am today. The acting is also pretty new. I started acting last year. It's kind of like a child dream that I had when I was younger. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be an actor. So I was like, you know what? Why not? We have money now. We're an adult. Let's take acting classes. So I got to act for work for a project that I got to make. I've acted in 3 short films now. Which tomorrow when I land, I'm actually going on set to film, which is
Oh my
nuts because I'm
gosh.
filming Thursday, Friday. And then my project for work again, I'm gonna be acting in that again. So that one's a fairly new one. I'm still trying to get the grasp on memorizing lines,
Yeah.
but it's been super fun and fulfilling.
Oh my gosh. I, honestly, it's insane that you started off on the content creation side of things, just like posting on TikTok for friends. I
Yeah,
feel like that's a lot of people's stories of TikTok creators are like, I just started to post because, I want to do it for fun. And then all of a sudden, I just like people started following and I blew
yeah,
up, and then all these things happen. So it's really exciting that like you don't just like are a content creator, but you're all these other things as well, and you're kind of just like flexible with the opportunities that have come your way. I love hearing that. But on the content creation side of things, I know that you mainly post like queer lifestyle content, and I wanted to know, why did you choose like to post this type of content? Is it because that's what your audience was resonating with the most?
I think it's a mix of that's what my audience was resonating with the most, and it also was because I was becoming the most secure I ever was in my career identity in the last 4 years. In the last 2 years, I started to identify as a lesbian. I've been queer my entire life. Like I had girlfriends and boyfriends from kindergarten all the way up until like grade 7 when I was exclusively only dating women. Um, and then I tried seeing if I was still identifying as pan from like 15 until 20, I'm gonna say like 22 is when I finally
Hmm.
realized. So it was more so like I was just making content for myself to kind of like, oh my god, like we're growing, like I have a girlfriend, this is what it means to be an adult in a lesbian relationship, and oh my god, like I'm queer and visibly queer at work, and oh, what does it mean to have community? Because my entire queer community was just my university. Like
Hmm.
I started a GSA in high school, but I lived in a really small town, and then I moved to like a university town, but it's like a smaller one. Like I went to Brock. Like St. Catharines is not
Okay.
a huge city. Like
Yeah.
St. Catharines is literally only existing for Brock University. And then I joined the Brock Pride executive team. So like my queer community was literally just always at school. So now I'm not at school, and I'm like, where are the gay people at?
Hmm.
Like where are the gay people at? I'm like, am I even gay anymore? I don't know because I'm not around gay people. I'm scared. So like I was making this to like find community online, and then I found that community and they liked what I was doing, so I kept doing it.
Wow. I love that you were, as you were discovering your queerness and coming into your queer identity, you're posting about it too. I feel like that's honestly so vulnerable. Like I'm
Hmm.
thinking about my own like queer journey. I don't know if I would be posting it on social media. Like honestly, I have so much respect, but I feel like too a lot of people during like 2020 and the pandemic and whatnot, everyone was like online all the time, especially on TikTok. And I felt like a lot of people like figured out they were queer through TikTok because they
Yes.
watched a video and they're like, oh my gosh, the way that you're thinking is the exact same thoughts that I've had. Maybe I should consider my queerness or whether or not I am queer. So I think you have probably like yourself have inspired a lot of people to like come into their own queer identity too. So I love the whole aspect of like you're trying to figure out like your own self through social, but then have also at the same point like have inspired people to do the same. Just probably not on social like posting about it
But in
necessarily,
their self,
but
yeah.
like making themselves think about that side of things. I wanted to ask you, what is your most interesting collaboration you've done as a
Oh,
creator?
interesting. Oh my
Yes.
God. Interesting. I don't know if it's interesting, but it's one that I never thought would become like a partnership as long as it has been. Go Transit.
Yes.
Me and Go Transit, for whatever reason, are locked in. Like, I have done, I kid you not, 8 Go Transit video ads.
That's insane.
And 3 of them dropped in the last 2 weeks. And I have another one that's coming out um in like 2 more weeks.
So, who did the Go Trans also for people who don't know what the Go Transit is, for the non-Canadians, Go Transit is like a transit system that runs through the Greater Toronto area, so you can like hop on it from like Mississauga or Oakville or like a little town and then you can take it all the way into the city. Um, but did Go Transit reach out to you?
So I reached out to Go Transit.
Oh, okay.
Since I live so far from the city, I was using Go very frequently. Like if you scroll far enough, I at least have at least like 4 selfies on the Go train. And I'd always tag them and I'd always be like, gorgeous, gorgeous girls take public transit, especially if it's Go Transit. And they were looking for someone to do a student campaign on campus. Like they needed someone to like go around, show how to get to the Go bus, like what the schedules were like, the ease of using it as a student. And I said, oh, I can do that. So I applied and they loved it. It was great. Great collaboration. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I landed that. And then they asked me to do another one. I was like, oh, sick, I can do that. And then they asked me to do another one. And it's like they just kept asking me to do these collabs. And I was like, this is freaking sick. I just did one with my niece, which was great because it's a new way for me to teach her about financial literacy because I'm paying her for the ad because I wouldn't be able to do it without her.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday when I went on TikTok live, there's people coming in to my live from that video being like, Simon says XYZ because the whole premise of the video was copycatting and how kids will follow what you do as an adult. And I was like, wow, sometimes I'm known as the Go Transit girl. Like people will either know me as the Well Simple Foundation girl, Zhané as a queer content creator, or oh, you're the girl in the Go Transit ad. It's so funny. That's why it's the most interesting. It's just like, who would have thought?
Or you're the model from the Nyx brand.
Or on the model from Nyx, yeah.
Wait, that's so I you would just never think,
You would never
honestly.
think.
Go Transit, but shout out the Go. I love the Go. Tap on, tap off. It's great.
Literally. And now this Presto on your phone. This is not sponsored. By the way,
Oh,
I'm
they do
just
presto
saying
on your
that.
phone now?
That's what the video I made is about. That's gonna drop in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, T T T.
TTT. But yeah, I'm so excited.
I love that for you. That's awesome.
Don't look at the
Um,
negative balance. Don't mind it. But
oh, your presto
Presto.
balance.
Yeah, don't watch that. I haven't been home in a month.
Oh my gosh. Um, Speaking of being like a content creator, the modeling and the acting, do you have any tips for people who are aspiring to do what you do?
Yes. Number one, and I know everyone says this, but you really do just have to post. I have friends who are so cool. They're so interesting. I think they could surpass me in every single way just because I think they're more interesting than I am as a person. And they're too scared to post. They're two in their head. They're like, okay, but what if it only gets like 10 views? I'm like, okay, if 10 people said, hey, what's up? You'd probably freak out. You'd be like, whoa, 10 people are saying hi to me. The first thing is just posting consistently, posting to fail. There's been times where I post a video and it obviously doesn't resonate with my audience, but then I learn, okay, this doesn't resonate with my
Hmm.
audience. I don't have to do this ever again. But posting and just doing those things is how I got where I am. Like, people can't find you if they don't know you exist, and they don't know you exist because you're not posting. So that would be step one. Step two would be get ready for a lot of rejection. Like, you have
Hmm.
to be okay with people saying no to you because you're not going to get every brand deal. They're not going to want to work with you when you're small, which doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means like they have certain KPIs and metrics they need to hit, and you won't be able to get those targets for them. But also, people might not want to collaborate with you. Um, People might be mean to you in your comments, and it's kind of like it comes with the gig, but you also can curate your own space. So, third tip would be utilize the block button. Do not engage with trolls. I have friends who engage with trolls 24/7, and I'm like, no, this is not a good look for you if you're fighting in your comments. Just block and delete. This is your side of the internet. Like, you can literally make it whatever you want. I block people every single day. It's beautiful. I love it.
You block all the trolls.
I love blocking my trolls. Sometimes, if I'm feeling spicy, I'll pin their comment. And I'll be like, here's the attention that you want. So now when other people see this, they can be like, look at this idiot. Um, but yeah, a lot of times, almost like, I don't care. If you don't like me, why are you here? Block.
True.
Yeah.
How long then is your blocked list?
On Instagram, it's getting longer. My Twitter one, oh my God, my Twitter block is so big that sometimes I get scared that when I meet people, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, like I used to follow you on Twitter. Like we used to be mutuals," and I'm like, "Oh, cool.
Oh,
What's
I
your at?"
blocked
And then I
you.
see your blog. I had a
Blocked.
girl. I had a girl DM me. I don't know why I unfollowed her, but if I unfollow you, it's probably for a good reason. Like you probably said something that I don't agree with, or it was just a really bad take. So she messaged me, being like, "Why did you unfollow?" And I was like, "Whoa." One, crazy that you noticed. Two, crazy that you noticed. Three, it probably was something that you said. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So it's just in my message request, and I keep looking at it like, wow, you really said that. Like, you sent that, and you thought I was going to respond. Why did I unfollow? You probably were being weird. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
My Instagram block list is 30 people right now.
Okay, not too bad. I thought you were gonna say it's like 100 plus people.
No, soon it will be because Instagram has a feature where it tells you, like, oh, you may want to block. I just seen this. If you go on your block list, it'll be like, you may want to block based on your account center,
Whoa.
which is nuts. Like, these are people with like 3 followers.
Creator
You know what? Let's just
insights.
add it. Let's just add it. Who cares?
You're gonna add all the people.
It's 40. It's 40 people blocked now.
Oh my gosh. They're probably like spam accounts or bots.
Oh, oh my God.
Just happened.
One of them is my stalker.
You have a stalker?
I have a stalker. Oh my gosh. That's tea for off the pod. Oh my, I'll give you. This is crazy. Wow, maybe Instagram
Instagram
doesn't know what they're
knew.
doing. Bull.
That is
Yup.
insane.
Yup. That's crazy.
I love all the tips that you have though. Oh, and then I have like a kind of like a rapid fire set of
Right,
questions
right,
for
right. Okay, I'm
you.
ready.
Kind of rapid fire, but more like just like fun little questions for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to ask because of the type of content that you post on social. What are your ins and outs of dating?
Oh my God. Okay, ins and outs. Ins, reciprocation, gentleness, open communication. Um, what's the word for, I'm trying to think of the word for this, but I only know it in the kink way, and now I'm feeling crazy. Experimentalist, like
Okay.
being open to trying new things. Mutual understanding. I would say outs, mean femmes. Oh my God, if you're a mean femme,
Mean fans.
if you're a mean femme, I don't care. You know, I'm a liar. Sometimes I go through the phase where I'm like, I like when girls are a little mean to me. Like, I like a girl that can put me in my place. But there's that type of girl, and then there's like the actual other type of femmes that are like, ew, you're ugly, I hate you. oh, so you don't want me? No, I want you. And I'm like, no, mm-mm, I'm not doing that. Mean femmes are in my outs. Liars.
Hmm.
People who don't follow through with what they say.
Mm. That's a big one.
It's a huge one. Like, don't say
Yeah.
you're gonna get me flowers if you're not gonna get me flowers. You
Ugh.
know?
Or
Like,
don't
don't.
say you want to take me on all these dates and then you don't take me on all those
And then when
dates.
it's time to go on the dates, you're not around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess love bombers, big out, big out,
Oh, yeah.
huge out, huge out. But I'm gonna say another in I want to add is puppy dog stages. I think more people need to lean in to that initial like infatuation puppy dog feeling when you talk to someone new, but
Mm.
not in a way that's like love bombing. When it's like you both just know you really like each other and like you're just like all in. And I think you should capitalize on much time as possible in that stage.
Like you have those like little jitters of excitement, or
Yeah,
like you're like
you want to
thinking,
hold
oh
each
my
other's
gosh, I could
hands.
take them on all these dates. I want to do this. I want to make them this.
Yes, like embrace that feeling. No nonchalantness.
I feel like that's the best feeling. Or the feeling of like you're not in love with the person just yet, but you're like falling for them and you're like getting
Yeah, you're like,
there. Oh,
wow. Like if it happened, I wouldn't be mad. You
yeah,
know, one of those. Yeah,
that's the
that's my
best
biggest
feeling.
in for dating
Um,
this year.
Amazing. And then what are your dating tips? So like I feel like recently a lot of people have asked me like how do you have game? Like how do you flirt? How do you ask girls out? Like why do you get dates?
I
And
feel
so I
like
have my own tips, but I want to hear your tips.
your game to me is very much like it feels like Shira's. Like every like you're just like the person in the corner. Like everyone's like, wow, they're so intriguing, but you're not gonna make the move. But since you're so mysterious, they're like, I need to talk to them
Bro.
right now. I seen it happen in the club. You can't even lie. I literally watched it happen like 3 times. I was like, I'm like, bro is getting played. Like this is
I know
crazy.
I feel like my number one dating tip for any like queer person, woman love woman, like
Whoa,
wear a
whoa,
vest. Wear a vest. I'm telling you.
you were the best.
I'm telling you, every single time I have worn a vest, I have gotten hit on multiple times. Like the last time, yes, when we were at the bush, I wore a vest. But there's another time I like went out for my friend's birthday. I wore a vest. I got hit on by men, by women, by anyone. And I was like, what is going on? Like the people were feral in the streets.
Wear a vest
Wear a
is the
vest.
funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to take that.
I think
I'm
people
gonna,
just like an androgynous look.
and you know what? That's not a lie. Because I
Yeah.
also wore a vest a couple times when I was here, like either no sleeves or like a little t-shirt underneath. And I was like, people were like checking me out. I was walking off the MTA. She like looked at me, smiled, and kept looking at me. And I was like, oh. Then she's like, I like your hair. And I was like, you like my hair?
You're like, ooh.
The train left, and Shorty was still looking at me through the window. I was like,
That's crazy. Ugh.
um. So that tip is crazy. I love that tip.
What are your
Um,
tips? What are your tips?
dating tips like how to pick someone up or like how to date like when you're in a relationship.
How to pick someone up.
How to pick someone up. Um unfortunately, I'm very very direct. Like
Wait, why unfortunately? Why is that a bad
because
thing?
a lot of people cannot be direct. So if you want indirect tips, I think a little eye tag is fine, but it gets creepy if you're doing it the entire night and you don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like I think you should give yourself 3 glances. 3 glances at this person and then you have to make a move. And the move can be, hey, can I buy you a drink? Hey, how are you tonight? What are you doing tonight? Are you here by yourself? No, don't ask all 3 questions in the same cadence because
Hmm.
then it would be kind of weird. Like, asking too many questions. But I think I do like a little indirect flirting. So like you brush past someone, you put your hand on your back. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like pardon me. The eye tag, opening the door for people. I think is a good one. But I think eye contact is the biggest one. Like if someone's making eye contact with me, I'm like,
Hmm.
where's
I
this
feel
at?
like eye contact and
And a
like
smile.
for me it's like a linger of like the hand or like a
Yeah.
grab, but like a soft grab.
Especially
That
like
I
if
feel
the
like.
hand is like here. Any this in the shoulders, I'm like
This and up.
literally, literally a hand on the back. I'm like,
They'll do something to someone.
but if you're direct, the last time this happened, or the last time I did this, it worked. So me and this girl were talking, and we were making a lot of eye contact, a lot of smiling. I could tell that she was kind of nervous, and I was like, "Why are you so nervous? Like, do I make you nervous?" I was just being a dickhead. Just being a dickhead. But I essentially went, it's like, when can I take you out? Like, it was just like that. Like, when can I take you out? When can I take you out to dinner? But also, since I cook, I like to be like, it's like, what's your favorite meal and when can I cook it for you? So it's like, you gotta find your lines. You gotta find your
Yeah.
rhythm.
I feel like people can really appreciate someone being direct because it's like, yes, of course, there's this tension, but you need someone to break that tension. You need
Yeah,
someone to be like,
someone
okay,
needs to break
so
it.
what are we doing here?
So like, are we going? I also did ask her to walk her home after, because we were on set. So I was like, oh, like, can I walk you home? So it's like, you gotta be chivalrous. Like, you gotta
You
start
do.
slow, but like, be intentional. Like, I wasn't gonna walk her home to get in her house. It's more so I could be like, hey, like, do you want to talk and walk? I get to learn more about you. I can show you that I'm willing to go out of my way for you, like things like that.
I feel like women can really appreciate that too.
And it definitely was appreciated because it worked.
How many DMs do you think? This is literally my last
Oh
question
my
for you.
god,
Is
no.
is how many DMs do you get like of people asking you out?
I get a lot. I get a lot. Um, and usually I don't respond to them either because they're not in the country, and they're not near me, or I'm like, hmm, how old are you? No age in bio. I'm not risking this. I have people who are like 21 trying to talk to me, and I was like, um, the breaks, babes. I'm
Stop.
turning basically 30 in 2 years. Not even. I'm basically turning 30. I'm only 26. I'm only turning 26, but basically 30. And you're
But they're
basically
babies. I
18.
feel like people
Yeah,
who are
you're
21
basically
are like
18.
babies. Totally.
I don't see 21 and be like, oh, like you're basically 25. I'm like 21. Oh, you're fresh. You're freshly an adult and barely, because I'm barely an adult and I'm 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone that like shoot their shot in your DMs like actually like y'all went on a date?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. 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 The last time this happened was last summer, and it was a pretty smooth line. I can't lie. Um, you know how I host queer pottery nights in Toronto. They
Hmm.
sell out really fast because they're free, so like it fills up really quickly. And so I posted on my story the link, and then I posted, "Sorry guys, it's full." And she replied to that story being like, "It's okay, I can take the space that's on your lap." And I was like, "Whoa!"
That is so smooth.
And you know, if the DM is smooth, sometimes I entertain it. Like I'll do like a couple flirts back and forth. But if it's like, oh my god, you're so hot, like I want you to kill me, I'm like, no, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. You know how people on TikTok will
Yes.
comment? It's like people try to do that to DM me, and I'm like, guys, this is not how you pick someone up. Like you can't be
So
like, I want
much.
you to step on me. I want you to like, you know, beat me up until I don't want. I don't want to see that. But the sitting on the lap line, so good,
That is
so good.
smooth. I would take that up too.
Yeah, we went, and the date was good. So she
Love.
de- and this is why femmes have to be direct.
Femmes, don't be mean, but be
Be
direct
direct
and be respectful and
and
kind
mindful
and sensitive and
and
all these
demure.
things. Danae, thank you for joining the podcast. I like to end each episode with a quote because it
Hmm.
goes back to my roots and my love for Criminal Minds. Have you
Okay,
ever
Spencer
seen
Reed.
it?
Okay, Spencer Reed.
They
Yeah.
start and end each episode with a quote. So I literally had three different quotes lined up because I was like, I don't know which quote to say for you specifically, but I'm gonna pick one right now. Okay, this is my quote for you. Is the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. That's by Alice Walker.
Damn. That's
Yeah,
gonna bother me for the rest of the week now.
there you go.
I'm
Gotta
gonna
sit
sit
in
and
that.
resonate with that. Yeah.
Zhané, thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure learning so much about you and all the things that you do, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Of course. And hopefully when I come back, we can go hit up the bush again, both wearing vests.
Yes, definitely. If you see us at the bush, we may be there.
Come say
Like,
hi.
comment, subscribe to Zhané's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the socials. And we'll see you next time on the podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.